streaming, and I'll tell you when. Okay, we are live.
Are we live?
We're live. Okay.
How are you, Gord? How
Good.
are you doing? How is everyone?
All right, hang on a sec, Paul. Well, let me get us started here. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It sounds like is that audio on your end? Extra audio, Paul?
Yes, I can hear your audio on lag.
All right, hang on a sec, Paul. But there's no echo, right? Let's start it here.
I fixed it.
Okay.
It was my desktop.
Okay, so we'll start again. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It's Gord Isman here, and I have a very special guest today, and I want to share with you a little introduction. Today, our topic is going to be about success mindset and selling yourself on YouTube. And our guest today is Paul Democritou, and Paul is an entrepreneur, sales and marketing expert, advisor, author, and cancer survivor, in addition to being a YouTuber. Paul teaches all about sales and success. And I just want to share with everyone, I first saw Paul when he was doing a collab video with Nick Nimmin on Nick's channel. And I was very intrigued by his story. I saw his confidence and learning that he had beat cancer, and he was focusing on, success mindset and trying to share positivity and all this great messaging with the world to help people succeed. I was very excited to meet him, and on that interview or collab with Nick, he also talked about his book called Success IAO, and that's how to improvise, adapt, and overcome anything with action plans to make money in any situation, even with zero capital. So I was very excited to see Paul there, and he's got another book called The Closers Part 3 with living legend Ben Gay III, and today we're going to learn that he even has another book in the works. And so, without further ado, welcome, Paul.
How you doing, Gord? How is everyone out on Gord's channel? I'm happy to be here. I'm pumped. I'm psyched up, and I'm looking forward to this, man. I've been waiting for this for a while, Gord.
That's awesome. So can someone confirm from our chat that everything looks cool and they can hear us okay? That would be much appreciated.
And sorry for sabotaging your sound in the beginning. I had the chat open and I forgot to switch off the sound. It was my fault.
That's okay. We got lots of people in here. There's Pam Duthie, and then Check It Media, Foulfish, and to Naomi from Top Shelf VA. Welcome everybody, and Tech for Your Needs. Thanks all for coming, and it's great just to see you all here. And we're gonna have some great time with Paul. I can see I have a little bit of challenge with my OBS screen, but that's okay. It's the best it's gonna be for today. Okay, we got confirmation that our audio is great, so that's super. So
the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone, today we're gonna cover not just sales. I called, the thumbnail says, YouTube sales strategies, but Paul is an expert in success and sales principles and skills. So I wanted to combine the two of those in our discussion because Paul has a lot of interesting perspective on things, and he's working on building a YouTube channel. And what I thought would be a great way to start out is for you to just sort of tell us your YouTube why and how you got your channel started, because your backstory is quite interesting, so people can appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Gord. I actually started my YouTube channel while I was in chemotherapy, while I was fighting cancer. I just wanted to start. I wanted to start, putting information out there, and I did that as well as write my 2 books for this similar reasons. The reason number one was I didn't want to start from the beginning. When I became better, when I healed myself. And the reason is time. It's a loss of time. If I sat there for a year doing nothing would have happened. I would be square one. So I decided to win time by starting a YouTube channel, writing a couple of books, and studying all day, as much as possible on chemo. And bone marrow transplant. The second reason was that if, touch wood, I didn't make it, I'd have something to leave behind, something to give, something to share. And, in a way that would keep you alive, if you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
those were my whys, and that's why I started my YouTube channel.
Okay. I was going to say we have your I thought your audio might have been popping in and out, but I think it's okay. It's okay. It's just me for now.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean that's amazing. So originally you weren't going to be using YouTube per se, right? It's just like when you got sick and you realized that. So how did you see this as a vehicle now, as YouTube, for something that people can use to, so you had a very important message, you wanted to create some kind of legacy content as a minimum, and so like how does this fit into YouTube as an instrument for us to sell ourselves as a brand?
Don't get me wrong. I was flirting with the idea of starting a YouTube channel before that, but I decided to start it midst cancer. I mean, I didn't really have the luxury of saying, "Hey, wait till I get better, and we'll see." I didn't know what was going to happen, so I started it. Now, YouTube. What I did know at the time is that over 85% of internet communication will be video by the end of 2019. So as a medium to get out there, YouTube is vital. The statistics are by Google. Google owns YouTube. It just makes sense. And in general, whichever company I advise or entrepreneurs I advise, sometimes I tell them get into video. It's also the most engaging thing, yes? So that's basically one of the reasons that it's vital. You get your message out there and people get to know you.
Yeah, so from a standpoint of success, your message is basically that you're in trouble if you don't find your way to video as a medium. Is that part of the message, what you're saying for success?
That's part of the message, and the other message is you have no excuse. If I could do it fighting cancer, going through chemo, going through bone marrow transplants, you got no excuse. Just get it done. If you are cautious about starting a YouTube channel right now, if you look at my first videos, I look like crap. I look like I was walking death. If you're conscious about how you look on video, believe me, just get over that. Get on video. It will really help propel your career or whatever you're doing.
Okay, so it's one thing to need to do it and to get a presence and be able to compete out in the marketplace, but you coach people on success, and how do you deal with someone like me who, when I started out, I was like afraid to go on camera. I hid behind whiteboard videos and PowerPoint videos. I just didn't want to put myself on camera. So in terms of like success and approach, like what are some of the principles that you would apply to help someone overcome those challenges?
Okay. Well, first of all, you can look at my first video and then you'll feel better. But other than that, you can look at everybody's first videos and then feel better. Look, being on camera is not that hard. It's just doing it for the first time. I'll tell you this, and the first thing I'm going to tell you is this. If you are worried or stressed, everyone is worried and stressed. It's normal to feel that way. It's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. I'll tell you this. I was an artist. I was also an entertainer. I was on stage. I was on stage with over 8,000 people looking at me with a microphone, singing and hyping up MCs and singers. I was doing podiums in timeshare with rooms full of people. I did so much. I was an actor. I've been on TV. Yeah, I've been on radio. I was a radio host. Every single time I felt scared. And you know what? When I wanted to go YouTube live, I remember like it was today. The first time I went live on YouTube, it took me a week, maybe more. And I think it was either Brian or Nick Nim talking to. I was like, yo, man, I just can't do it. It just feels weird.
Do you mean that you couldn't do it? You mean get the courage up to press record, or because there was no audience?
I could not push record.
Was it because you didn't have a live audience? Like, because I mean, if you've done all of that kind of work before,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like doing normal videos, it's getting past the weird syndrome. If you're on that camera right there, even if
Yeah.
it's not live, there's a weird syndrome, right?
Yeah.
You're like there, you're like, well, why am I looking at this camera talking to people? And you're thinking everyone's watching you. And it's kind of like you feel that they're going to judge you and all that. So what I did and what I advise people to do is do exactly what I did when I went on stage, exactly what I did when I went into the podium, exactly what every single time. Take a deep breath. Imagine if you're on stage, 50 Cent or whoever your best rapper or singer is. If you're on the podium, whoever your best speaker is, take a breath and imagine yourself, you're as successful as him. Now, body language is extremely important. You see, all these gurus talk about how to read body language, how to see body language to sell, to understand if they're lying and all that crap. It's not just about that. Body language affects you. It will affect me using it. Think of this, Gord. And you guys, if you want to listen to, if you are scared, if you are worried, what do you look like? You're crouched up like this, right? And you become really small. Now look at my voice; it changes, right? Now I'm actually feeling scared right now, probably because I feel like I look like, I don't know, that little character from the Lord of the Rings. But if you put your shoulders back, chest out, straight in your spine, and start talking to the camera, tilt your head up. You're gonna be a little cocky. Then suddenly you gain that confidence. Your body language affects you as well. This is why birds open their feathers to look bigger. This is why cats put their hair up so they can look bigger and they crouch. Also, we are, in a way, animals. So use that to your advantage.
Yeah, and the other thing is, aside from getting the courage to go up there and getting that confidence, we're all unique, and the thing where I start to come back to more and more is accepting that I'm not here to be like Paul, or to be like a Nick or an Owen or a Brian that I watch a lot of. I have to find my own place, because otherwise what you're putting on in front of the camera isn't you, and trying to be someone else is much harder to do than actually trying to be yourself, right?
I agree and disagree.
Okay.
And the reason is, look at actors.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be someone else whenever they want, and so can you. So if being someone else is what it takes to get on stage or get in front of that camera, do it. If you have to copy someone, in the beginning you will, until you find your voice. And if it's being yourself, do that. Don't worry so much about the small stuff. Just start, and you can micromanage that later. After you watch your videos again, after you get feedback, you will become better. Everyone sucks in the beginning. Even actors. Look at the actors when they first play. They play some corny roles as extras and everything, but they became better. I'll tell you this. If you plan to continue doing video, continue doing YouTube, people will only remember your best works. It's the same with artists. Think of your favorite singer right now. What's his favorite song? Now think of his worst one. You probably can't remember it.
No.
Or you probably don't know which one it was.
I only remember the ones I want to remember, yeah.
You're as good as your last hits.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. And the people that don't like you, you don't care, because you're not talking to them anyway. You are talking to your people that follow you and that like you, or the person that you are acting like on camera.
And I think that's such an important thing, because when you start to focus that way, you start to let go of the noise of comparison, which to me, I think a lot of us struggle with, whether we're looking at the gamification vanity metrics of YouTube, or just what someone else is doing, or how did they present the similar material that I want to deliver, and then I go, oh, they did it this way, and do I have to do it exactly like that, or do I need to cover more or less, whatever. And then what's funny is, in the end, the artist in me ends up taking over and goes, this is how I'm going to express this. So if I cut that noise out more earlier on, I'll have more confidence in what I'm delivering. It's almost because of the research effort. I get, we have some interesting noises there.
Yes. Okay. Talking about noise.
Okay, so
Basically, here's what's going on. I just want to tell everyone right now. It's going to end. I have the balcony window open. I'm in Greece, and it's hot
oh yeah,
as heck. And
okay,
I got my fan over there. Now I do have this directional mic that you told me to get, Gord. This is one
yeah,
of the a lifesaver, the shotgun microphone on it. But whenever people are racing with motorbikes in Greece, unfortunately, I
ah,
can't stop them, and they're really loud.
oh, I got you. Okay, I was just curious, so I lost my train of thought there. But it was all about comparison and the fact of finding focus, and that if
Yeah.
I find that if I let go of all of that activity and noise and what's going on around me, I can do a better job than and what's uniquely expressing from me. And I think that's a challenge I always fight when I go and do my research to look things up. So I don't know, do you ever like, when you decide to do a video, are you doing any degree of research to come up with what you want to do to deliver?
Not really. Sometimes I look for what people are looking for on the internet, or sometimes someone will ask me something in a seminar or a company I'm working for or something like, hey, that's a good idea, and I'll just do the video. I'm not so focused on my YouTube channel. I'm focused on other things, although I am getting more into it, if that makes sense. So for me, it's not so researching keywords or anything like that. I do basic stuff. I
Hmm.
get the video out there. If I'm sure somebody will find it that needs it at some point. They say the teacher will arrive when the student is ready.
Hmm. You mentioned to me a concept called the four P's, and I wanted to
Yes.
ask you to comment on that in the context of people developing their voice in executing in a video, like YouTube. We often talk about there's a formula, there's different
Yeah.
elements that need to be in there. So can you sort of talk about, as a successful approach to producing a video, share those principles with us?
Sure. So the four-piece system is, I can't remember where I got that from, but I upgraded it to my own sort of system. But essentially, if you look at successful YouTube videos, if you look at nickname and everything, pretty much everyone's doing it. But knowing about this will get your videos out there much better. Promise, picture, proof, pitch. Your promise, and
Hmm.
and this, before I go on, this applies in commercials, music videos, movies, sales pitches, emails pitches, sales funnels. It's all the four-piece system. It's what works. Okay.
Right.
The old system would have been AIDA, which it would be attention, interest, desire, acceptance, if I remember correctly. That's what insurance salesmen used to use. Promise, picture, proof, pitch is the newest sort of edition. And what it means is this: promise. What are people going to see
Right.
in the video? Now, over promise, and that's something that will create hype, if you will. It's okay to exaggerate because it will grab people's interest, people's attention. Now, I'm not saying clickbait, although that would
Right.
be nice if you know how to use it correctly, but promise. So um, in a sales pitch, it would be something like this: in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you how you can 10x your income today. That's a promise.
Right.
The picture is to have your audience picture using what you just gave them, like
Right.
the solution. So, and the best example I can give on that is what I used to teach Nova, which was a private TV that we used to cold call over the phone. And when I was given the seminar, they used to say they give documentaries, they have kids cartoons that are by psychologists. They're graded whatever as A graded, and movies that they can't get anywhere else. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not what you're selling. That's not selling the picture.
Hmm.
Selling the picture is the watching the sports, okay, with your friends, having a beer and laughing. It's not your kids watching the cartoons, it's the smiles on your kids faces as you look at them watching the cartoons, as the parents look at them. It's not the movies that you are watching, it's the night when the kids are asleep and you're alone with your wife and you have that time with her to watch that movie and hold her hand and smile and have that warm feeling inside. And that's what Coca-Cola uses, beer commercials. Everyone uses this, and that's painting the picture. Remember, when somebody goes to a hardware store to buy an electric drill,
Mhm.
They do not buy the electric drill. They buy the hole in the wall to put something up. They're buying the hole in the wall where they put something up which causes feeling, whether it's a TV set, to a family picture for memories, a
Mhm.
diploma to show off, a
Right.
couple of books promo, whatever. It doesn't matter. But they put up something for the feeling, right?
Right.
So that's what you're selling. Okay, so that's promise, picture. Proof is your social proof. Proof is when, if you go to all these sales funnels, sometimes you see, as used by Gord, Isman, Nick Nimmin, and Brian G. Johnson, Roberto Blake, and Owen Video, right? Testimonials, or or you can do it on your own. I have used this effectively for 10 years. And that's where you can get like a video of Nick Nimmin coming in and say, "This is Nick Nimmin approved." That's proof.
Mhm.
And then it's the pitch. That's when you do your actual pitch. When you talk about when you do your closing, your call to actions. Now, remember this. This is the upgraded part of that.
Mhm.
Mention what you're telling him 3 times.
Oh,
So what you're gonna see, what you will see again, what you have seen.
okay. So
Okay, remember that.
can you give us an example of, those four points? Like pretend you were doing a video on a subject or one that you recently did. Can you just like share an example how you address that? Um,
I could give it a try.
sure.
So today we're gonna see how. Okay. So today I'm going to show you a book, Success IAO, that's going to make you so successful, you're not going to believe it. This is not just like any book. This book is the real deal. Check it out, okay? Picture being able to read this book, following it part by part, yeah, and succeeding. Everything will start making sense. Yeah, check. You'll be able to have a Lamborghini like I do. Okay. No, seriously, guys, I'm not even joking. Most people that have read this book, okay, are already successful. Not because the book made them successful, but they are already successful. Okay, successful people read. What does that tell you? Yeah. So anyway, if you go to successiao.com, by the way, you can get that book free today. I'm not talking about just pay for postage gimmicks or anything like that. Go to the site, successiao.com, get that book for free. And when you do succeed, then do me a favor, buy a few books and give it to some other people so they can also succeed. You don't have to, but it's a nice thing to do. And that's an example, very rough, sketchy, out of my head. That would be an example of the 4P system, and also about summarizing social proof. Did a little bit of a takeaway. It's basically
Okay, that was great. Now, um, I'm someone that struggles to ask people, and if you like this video, click the thumb up, leave a
yeah,
comment, share, blah, blah, blah. Do you blend that into a lot of what you do?
yeah.
Like, I'm thinking, why not just address it through graphics and little sound effects? I mean, that's another method, right? But you were telling me, when we talked before about selling and doing that stuff, have the confidence to do it because it's a win-win for you and the others. Can
Yeah,
you elaborate a little bit on that, like what you
sure.
meant?
So when you tell someone to subscribe, first of all, listen, you're doing this video, you have to get something out of it too. You're giving free value. Now, some people like doing it in the beginning, some people at the end. Nick Nimmin does it at the beginning. I tend to also do it in the beginning. Sometimes I don't do it at all. Sometimes I do it at the end. But in general, give them a reason to do it.
Mhm.
So I would say something like, this channel is all about success mindset, and sales training videos just like this one. So if you want to succeed in life and business and get more deals, go ahead and subscribe down below. And don't forget to hit that bell notification button so you don't miss anything. And I combine it with graphics. And I'll have the graphic
Mhm.
somewhere in between, or if I don't say it, I'll put the graphic in if I forget or whatever. But it's nice for people to hear it and see it, but give them the reason to. First of
Yeah.
all, you don't want people that just stumble on your video because they liked cats, and I don't know why the thumbnail had a cat in it, and you came
Yeah.
and subscribed to it. That's bad for your watch time, but for your view ratio, subscriber to view ratio. But give them a reason, and then they know what to expect when you pump out another video. They know why they are there, and you're giving something. If you want to do it, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we got a question here from Chris, and he asks, is Paul saying to give a hook and then go into a video? What is his view on doing an intro and get right into the video?
You could do a hook to the end, by the way, if you're smart about it. Make sure you watch this video to the end, because I'm going to give you something that you can't believe. You won't even believe what I'm going to give you at the end of this interview with Gord, by the way. So stay tuned. That would be a hook.
I like the idea of doing that, but I'm one of these people that, I'm just not used to having a salesy mindset in what I do. So I'm getting better, but I leave my call to action predominantly right at the very end. And when you think about it, people like Nick and others are smartly doing stuff earlier on, saying, hey, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure that after you watch it, click, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Subscribe and
because they
like,
know
and say that up front. So you upfront load while you still have greater retention in your videos, so more people get the message, right? And so you can do it at the beginning and the end, right?
that, and a lot of times people watch a video and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to watch this later because I have to go. My girlfriend's calling me right now. I got to go. Guys out there, you understand, when the lady calls, she calls. So it might, if you have that in the beginning, people will be like, okay, yeah, I'll subscribe to it, and maybe I'll watch the other videos later. If not, they might forget all about your channel because everyone's competing for them, right? And they might stumble on someone else, like, I don't know, Brian Tracy or some other guy. So it's good to have it in the beginning in general, but give them a reason for it. If you give them a reason for it, then it's not really being salesy.
Yeah.
Salesy would be something like, subscribe now and you will get a free motorbike that's going right by my window right now. That would be salesy. But if you give them a reason on why to subscribe, it's
yeah, I think that makes more sense. For me, being very left brain oriented, that gives a rationalization that I feel it would be cool. Now, what about the topic of charisma? Like, I see you always as Mr. Confident on camera, right? And some people go, well, I don't have a face for video or a voice for radio kind of mentality. And like, what do you say to those people to coach them to success and gaining more charisma on camera, aside from just do more? Like, are there any things that you suggest where they like try to research or practice or do? Like, any suggestions?
Okay, so charisma has nothing to do with what you look like. Mm-hmm. You can be very charismatic and be ugly as hell. You can be like really bad. That people with a glass eye will cry, but you can still be charismatic. I mean, and no offense to Gary Vaynerchuk, but he's not the most handsome, tall man alive, and his voice is squeaky. He just talks like this. Sometimes kind of annoying in the beginning, but he has so much charisma. Yeah. So much know-how and so good at what he does as well that all just fades away. And I'm actually a fan of Gary.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. His language
Gary,
and his
watching this, man. I'm sorry, you're ugly, but I love you, man.
Yeah, his energy and his passion are off the dial.
He is really good. But still, he has that charisma. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that really, they're not good looking. It doesn't really matter. Put it this way. Let's say this is kind of hard, but let's say there's a bunch of ugly people watching your videos and you're ugly too. Guess who those ugly people will be able to relate to more? Mm-hmm. Not everyone looks like a superstar, like an actor or whatever. People are like, yo, I like this guy. He's real. He's my person. Or Gord, you're a bit older, right?
Yeah.
You have people that are older saying, shit, he's doing it. I can do it. I can learn it. He can understand me. He speaks my language. We share our mojos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's part of my belief, is that I want to show people that, hey, the white hair, which by the way was here since 30 years old, and at 59, I want to show people that they can do it too. You have the desire, and
plus you get more experience, right? You look more experienced, wiser.
Mm-hmm.
There's always an excuse. Oh, I'm too young. People won't take me seriously. Oh, I'm too old. People won't take me seriously. Oh, I am just the right age. No one will take me seriously.
I've never heard anyone say that. Right?
Oh,
It's only excuse making, never that everything's just right.
right. By
That's
the way, everybody in the chat right now, whoever's watching, go ahead and click that like button for Gord right here. He's doing an amazing job. I love Gord. I learn a lot from him. Just so you know, I've learned a lot of my designs from him as well. But if you have any questions on sales or success mindset, please go ahead, ask in the chat.
yeah, ask away. Thank you, Paul, for mentioning that. Ask in the chat.
Ask in the chat.
Okay, so if I were to say to you, knowing that you have some interesting plans ahead with a book coming out and other stuff, you tell us a bit about what it is that you want to do, and then I want you to follow that by explaining to us all the different ways for selling in YouTube that you're going to apply using YouTube as a mechanism, and how does that tie into your offline, so that I can appreciate and everyone can appreciate how you're using, you know, these skills you have in sales to take the presence of YouTube to leverage and repurpose and all the like. Okay.
So I have 2 books right now. I'm writing another 3. Not one. And one's coming out in a couple of weeks. It's called How to Sell a Pen Really. And you can actually sign up to sellapen.com and get a free copy when it comes out.
Oh, cool.
And that's
so we'll have to put that in the notes after. We'll put some of the links to your
I appreciate
stuff. Okay. Yeah.
That's the essentials of sales, the bare essentials. Like you learn how to sell, and if you lose a deal, you can go back and reference the book and go back to it and check it out and see what's going on. The second book I am doing, I'm interviewing a lot of people from worldwide, the best in their field, in their niche, asking them about their success, seeing, interviewing them. You can actually see some of these videos on my YouTube channel. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm interviewing them, and I'm getting the similarities and putting them in the book as well with some things they are saying.
Oh, okay. So that interview you did with Owen the other day is something that's for your book. That was a great interview, everybody. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go to Paul's channel and watch the video. He just did an interview video with Owen video. and it's great. I really enjoyed that. Owen's just so energetic and full of great nuggets and passion, and so that was really, really enjoyable. So I interrupted you, so continue on. So yeah, so now how are you gonna monetize all of this, utilizing all the potential of YouTube and what you know about sales, and how does that go offline in support of whatever else?
So I have sales videos, I have success mindset videos, and I also have some crypto videos. That's the third book. It's called Cryptocology, if I don't change it. So basically what I will be doing is, as I'm doing those videos, I'm going to plug those books in those videos as either a giveaway or as mentioning them. Now, some will be sold, some will be given away for free, some will be sampled, but basically it will take you to a landing page. And don't get me wrong, there's something important about remarketing here. I'll get into it in a second. But it takes you to a landing page. You grab the email. You either upsell them the full book or the bigger book. So if it's a Sell a Pen, I can, sell the closers part 1, 2, and 3.
Right. So is it a chapter? Is it a chapter that they're going to get? So I watch your video. I'm all excited. There's got to be links inside the video description. So what am I? So is it to an Amazon or is it to off your site?
Gord, bear with me. Some will be full books. Some will be, the only one that has a sample is the Closers 3.
Okay.
Everything else will be either a full book given or a mini course or something else. It depends. Okay. And then it will upsell them either the full book or the paper version of the book or a course, which I'm working on as well. So this year I'm going to finish 5 books under my belt. And then from 2019 will be the year of the course.
The year of the course.
Okay. The year of the course. Now, you can drive them off using links, but YouTube doesn't really like that. I like keeping them on YouTube. So I do 2 things. I will either drive them to another video that drives them off, or even better, retarget them. And so you can go to AdWords right now, and you can tell AdWords to show a video to everybody that has seen a specific video or playlist the last 6 months.
Right.
So basically, who's ever seen my sales videos will see a video of me talking about the Closers Part 3, or everyone that sees a success video of mine will see a video
Right.
talking about. Now, if you drive them off the platform that way, YouTube doesn't mind because you're paying them for ads.
Mhm.
Plus, it's a lot cheaper because people know you. You've built rapport. You'll get more click-throughs. So even if somebody's paying more for those clicks, YouTube will still give it to you more anyway because it goes by percentage of clicks, so you get cheaper ads. I can't really explain the mechanics right now, but it works that way. So I learned that from Alex Becker, if you've ever heard.
Oh
of
yeah.
him. Yeah. So I looked into that.
His videos are a hoot. He also has an incredible energy and perspective.
A bit too much on the Shopify, but yeah, he's cool.
What about networking, and how does well, obviously networking in the traditional sense, people are used to offline, in the bricks and mortar world, but how do you find, and what are you doing to network in the space of the digital community? And how do you deal with selling yourself to build your network? I know I'm overusing the words sell people, but I'm trying to keep it on theme because I think it's relevant to what we're talking about.
First of all, sales is not just selling people. It's psychology, sales science, rhetoric. It's you learn cognitive biases. You learn a lot of stuff in sales. Okay. So a lot of people hear sales like, oh, sell me this, give me that. It's not like there's more to that when it comes to sales science. As for networking, I'll say this. Most people are doing it wrong, whether it's online or offline. See, everyone's trying to expand and grow their network, and they forget about the network they already have. So as you are growing and reaching out to new people, you're losing the people you already want. What are you guys doing? It's not about numbers. It's about quality as well, okay? You got to network with the people you already know. Whether that's people that are subscribed to you, whether that's people that you know in real life, throw a party. Every year, do something, do a yearly YouTube, video, come together, I'll give everyone a gift, or I don't know what, but reach out to them, send them messages, don't forget about them. And that's the biggest mistake people make when it comes to networking. When you sell, let me tell you something about sales. People, it's much easier to sell something to someone that took something free from you, bought something small from you, and then sell them something bigger. And what most people do is they give something free, sell something small, forget about them, and try to get other people and sell them something big. No, go back to the people you already got in your pipeline. They will buy your bigger product. This is what con artists do, and sales master closers do. They go by reciprocity. So they give you something small, then they sell you something bigger, and that's how funnels work. That's how everyone has a friend. Think of that one friend that you're always doing favors for, and you can't say no. That's because you did so many small favors for him over the years that now you keep on doing those favors. Or, think about kids, the way they, talk to their parents. Can I at least have this? And then they can ask for more and more. That's how you build. So don't forget about your network that you already have.
Yeah, and that's why I think even things I see, how well people like Owen are using chatbots and stuff like that. If you've watched one of his Facebook videos or his podcasts, he keeps reminding you that here's the next one, and I think all of this is very powerful to keep reminding the people that are already fans, is what we're saying. Like, the audience is there, keep serving them, and they're going to want to buy from you, right? The more you do that,
they're going to want to support you, and they're going to feel they know you, and they're going to trust you. And that's how it is. And it's the same, it's the same thing with everything. So, just keep contact. Don't just keep on thinking about expanding all the time, because you're going to end up having 100,000 people that don't know you.
Well, that's interesting, because I myself have not done the best job in terms of working a funnel. But I just keep in touch with people regularly for now as I publish new videos and share more content. But with what you have going on, you've probably got something in-depth designed to network all of your stuff together to keep people in the loop of growing with Paul.
Not
And
really, Gord.
no, so
Let,
what can you
let
share
me
us a bit about an insight on your perspective on funnels then?
well, let me give you a live example of a networking thing, if that's what we
Okay.
were talking about.
Yeah.
I think I understood the question wrong. You just mentioned Owen Video. You mentioned a bunch of people that you may or may not be in contact with all the time.
Right.
But here's the thing: they're so effective at, have done their job so effectively. They have other people talking about them to their network.
Yes.
They have a tribe, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about you talking to everyone. It's impossible. It's about
Right.
getting your close circle to talk to their outer circle. If you can get people talking about you, that's also networking to your own people.
Ah, so what are some tips in that area?
Well, I would follow Owen for that. He's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
that's why I
it's
do. It's one of the core
it's a
reasons.
mix. It's a mixture of reaching out, credibility, have other people talk. It's actually promise, picture, proof, pitch, but in a different way, because you have the proof and you have people talking about you. They're pitching it, and that's how it works, and it's really effective.
Yeah,
Look,
and I think he
if
generates a lot of conversation in the different platforms too, which is very, very neat. Like he does his
yeah,
share of engage, and he does a great job of engaging people to participate in the on those different platforms. And I think he just does an exceptional, job for that. Um,
and don't get me wrong, Gord. You can also be unreachable to people, and they're gonna want to know you after. But this is such a long conversation. It will not happen in this video.
that's a
It
topic
will
in
not.
one of the books coming.
Yeah, exactly. This really is huge. It's not even in the books that are coming out this year, but that's a huge topic.
Oh
But
wow,
yes,
that's quite interesting. Now, so I didn't think you directly answered the question about funnels. So I'm trying to get a sense from you, like um, you're producing your content on YouTube, and now you want to have courses and other stuff. So you're building a list, and does all this stuff network together through upsells and other things? Can you share a
yeah.
bit of strategic
And
sales advice here?
so if you go, for example, successiao.com, you will get my book for free, as I mentioned. You put your email in there. You will instantly get a downloadable version of the book. Take it,
Hmm.
it's yours. And then I'm going to ask you, write in that thank you message if you want to buy the paperback version on Amazon.
Right.
If you do not, you will be on the list and you will get about 4 or 5 emails giving you free value, free stuff,
Ah,
giving you advice. And then you'll be asked, hey, what do you think of the book so far? Do you think you can, would you like to buy it?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And you might buy it, you might not. It doesn't really matter.
Hmm.
You get another 4 or 5 emails giving you free value. Then you're going to be talked. Then you're going to see a sales video, and then you're going to get another email talking about the closers part 3 with Ben. And you can either get it for free, the sample, or you can buy it right there and then. Now, if you click that you're interested in either of those, you
Right.
will now be added to another list that you get sales videos as well, sales emails as well. If not, you will continue getting success ones only.
Oh, that's
Does that
cool.
make sense?
Yeah.
And right in there, that's where the courses will come and play as well.
Oh, I see. So all your funnel broadens out depending on the response and the path that
Yeah,
people choose to take, and you're going to be integrating your newer products and books and courses into centered around the free stuff that you give out up front. So your lead magnets there are starting to nurture the people and see that
yeah.
where if their interest expands from there, right?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Yes.
Hmm.
Now, keep in mind, Gord, that what I'm doing, my YouTube videos, my books, and everything, they're clearly for credibility because I sell myself to companies, and I go in as an advisor or go into giving a seminar, and that's it. So it's a bit different. But yeah, in 2019, I want to start selling courses. That's going to be one of my goals. So I won't have to do everything else so much. But yes, that's essentially what I'm doing.
Right. So your website is more supportive of that sort of corporate gig world, that
It's
where you sort of do stuff on that domain, right? Not so
yeah,
much utilizing your YouTube channel to generate that kind of business, right?
If you go to pauldemocritou.com, you'll see that everything is on credibility, seminars, speaking, and stuff like that. And if you Google me, you'll see mostly social proof and credibility stuff. It's all got to do with me getting to big companies. I'd rather do 1 or 2 big deals a year
Right.
than 1,000 small ones.
Sure.
And that's why I'm not worried about how many people see my videos on YouTube. I care about who sees my videos on YouTube.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's
Do
funny.
you use unlisted content as a strategy at all for
No,
some? No.
not
Okay.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It may be
Not
possible. Okay. Now, this is a question I like to ask everybody. And do you ever fight the concept of creating something for you, the artist in you, the creator in you, versus this is what I really need to do for my audience? And do you ever, stray from that or get torn? And I ask that because I find as a creator, sometimes I'll just lose inspiration because I've done too much of something, and I need the variety. That's why, although I'm focused in a niche all about video, I still have a diversity of subjects that I can dive into, and I try to see how the success of different videos are to determine if I'm going to make another one in a particular, subject area or playlist, as an example. So what's your feelings about that?
It's a double-edged sword, and I'll explain what I mean. It's the same principle as should you follow your passion or not to make money in life, and I'll come back to that in a second. When it comes to YouTube, if you want to grow fast, you're going to niche it down and do what people are asking for and so forth, and it's a business, and that's fine. We understand that. My argument is I'm making videos of what I want to put out there and what I think people need to learn. If I don't care what they want to learn, I know how to teach specific things. I'm not going to do a tactic to try and grow my channel. I'd rather slowly grow. As I told you, it's not how many people and who sees my videos.
Yeah.
It's who sees my videos. It's not how many. Yeah, it's not how many subscribers I have. It's who's a subscriber.
Yeah. This is interesting. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, who's the subscriber? Because ultimately, subscribers are just someone that clicked the button. Who's like your real audience and long-term supporter and believes in the content that you're creating and are there because they appreciate what you're creating. But in my case, because I'm creating weekly, I feel like maybe I've exhausted an area, okay, in what I'm doing. And until I've got more focus on producing other things like courses and stuff, and I have like 2 or 3 in mind that I want to dive into, I'm, trying to serve a diversity, not per se that I'm fixed on a track right now. So I think I would probably maybe look at things differently if I had assets like you already have in place, right? So you already know you have all of these different books, and there's a whole path to learning in them. So when you say strategically, you kind of know the recommended approach or delivery path for them. And for me,
but I started this YouTube channel, Gord, before the books.
Yeah.
I'll answer the question by going back to should you follow your passion or should you not in life?
Yeah, so this is tied to the same kind of thing. The artist part fits into the passion.
Look, I've learned this. I had a lot of mentors, and most mentors tell you, as a matter of fact, you should follow the money. Believe it or not, that's what most of them say, not all of them what they say. That you can do your passion at a time. Your passion seldom makes you money. It's usually what you have to do to make money. Then you can do your passion. But here's the thing. When you go through things like cancer, if you have a job that you're working 12 hours a day and you go home at night to do your second online business and you're tired as heck, if you're not following your passion, you probably will give up. Okay? See, your passion is something that you want to put out there and you're excited about it, and it's even then it's hard enough. So why should you sabotage yourself? So my thing is, you follow your passion, but make sure you follow the principles to make it work. There's a difference.
Right.
So if I'm want to, I don't know, as an example, I want to have, give me an example, Gord. What do you want to become? You want to become?
I want to become a sales and marketing rock star.
You want to become a sales and marketing rock star
as a
fine.
YouTuber.
As a YouTuber. So here's the thing. You keep making videos and talking about sales and marketing, but you're
Right.
learning it. You're actually putting the time in to learn psychology, sales, science. And if you're passionate about it, you don't care learning. And when you're doing the video and you're repeating it, you're learning it off by heart even better because
Right.
you're learning and you're putting it out. You're
Right.
learning it and you're putting it out. So essentially what you're doing is you're training yourself, but you're loving it because you're learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are a barista and you love doing, that's your passion, is throwing bottles in the air, wrapping them and serving drinks, you probably won't make a lot of money.
Right.
But you can make a lot of money. What you do is you start a YouTube channel and you start teaching how to be a barista. And over the time, as you're making these videos, you can also, you take them after a year and you give them to somebody to make it into a book for you, or you write it yourself and you put out a book. Now you have credibility. Now you have YouTube videos. Now you're becoming an expert in your field. And now you can do like a YouTube, I don't know, get together where everyone does throwing stuff, and then you can put out a course. See, you can make it your passion into a job that will make you a lot of money. But if you're sitting there in the bar on TGI Fridays spinning a bottle now and then, yeah, you'll get some dates, but you're not going to make much money, are you?
Yeah, and I think that's interesting aspect of becoming an entrepreneur as a YouTuber. I worked as a corporate consultant in corporations for years. For most of my 25 years, I was a consultant, either out in the field working for consulting agencies or short-time independent, or working as a consultant internally in a corporation. But because you're under the veil of working for them, I didn't have to work all the different functions. So now that I'm out here as an entrepreneur, there I was highly focused on delivering a project. Well, now I got to also be thinking about, well, you know what? That's great. Now I'm choosing the projects all myself because I'm a creator. But that makes it a little harder to get the more practical business part of it functioning, like you're saying, right? Like your mentor said, there's a purpose and a direction you're going to make money, not just to have fun in your creating. And I think that's an interesting thing, because I tend to want to do the things that I enjoy most. And this is where, I guess, getting to the point of knowing how to delegate properly and outsource to get things done. So you, obviously, to get all of this stuff done, need to be considering some kind of resources like that. So how are you going to be applying outsourcing as an example to your producing so many courses and books? Or how do you get assistance or VA support?
Well, first of all, the 3 books I'm currently writing, my editor is writing, Gail Seymour. And even when I wrote my first 2 books, I had the same editor. Now, she's not cheap,
right?
But when I was fighting cancer I'll give you an example, and this is where passion comes back in. I was fighting cancer. At some point, I was also getting spinal injections, right, with chemo in my spine and in the vein. And at some point, I had some side effects. I couldn't get off of bed. I used to get up of bed and my head would go like I didn't know where I was. And the only time I could feel okay was lying down. I'd feel fine. As soon as I get up, back in my head, I'd lose everything. So for 19 days this lasted, and I was in bed. I couldn't write.
No.
So what I did was I recorded my book and I sent it to her to transcribe it. And then the Closers Part 3, which I wrote with Ben Gay III, what we did is I wrote her an outline of a story that I wanted. I gave it to her. She goes to written the story on my guidelines. And me and Ben put in all the closes and did the commentaries and everything in that book. That's outsourcing. Right now, I'm interviewing people all over the world, both in crypto and not crypto. And they're on my YouTube channel. A lot of them are on my YouTube channel, a lot by email and so forth. All this is going to my editor, and she's writing the book for me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great example of repurposing and really leveraging, because you can eventually, and I'll just throw this out, like I haven't heard the word podcast and audio out of Paul yet. Is that going to fit in somewhere?
I was going to do I started getting someone to transcribe all my videos and make posts on my WordPress site.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped, and then I was thinking about doing a podcast, and I did this really big seminars, and I put them on, and I had them transcribed, and I know I had them edited. And you know what? You can't do everything.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of people out there, creators that have social media, they have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and most of them are broke. I'm not saying all of them are broke, but most of them are, because they don't have time to monetize.
Right.
And sure, it'll bring them some extra traffic, but it's just so much work. And then you have to get people to do it for you, and then it's even more expensive. No. Concentrate on one or two things.
And get them done.
Really good. And then you can think about, or outsourcing later. Believe me, most of these experts that are out there that have all these different, they have a team of people doing this for them. They're getting income elsewhere. You scale up. You don't start at the top.
Yeah.
You scale up to the top.
And that's where comparison's brutal, because I get into like, oh my God, there's 2 or 3 programs going on there and another one coming, and like, here I am in the starting blocks, and I go, oh, rather than worry about all of that, choose one project, dive in, get it done, and like you're saying, build from there, try to put all the noise away. But
become a master
at
it.
Right. And the interesting thing I find is being able to let go. In time, I know I need to let go of certain things, right? So you've already been doing that to do a lot of this. Was that tough for you to do? But because obviously when you were dealing with your healing through cancer and recovery, it's easier. You were like, you had no choice, you know what I mean, to make progress while you were doing it, and you had a purpose, right? That no matter what, you wanted to put this content together and be sure it was done. But for in less pressured situations, it may be tougher for people to let go. Is there anything that you've had that you were hesitant to let go, or that you keep that's coveted? So what?
Of course.
Okay.
So here's the deal. Before I got cancer, I was doing I was in business, but I was an entrepreneur, but I was also emceeing. I was doing music video production. I was doing directing. I let go of all of that. Even when I had like offers, I let go because the cancer didn't help. No one wants to see somebody like with no eyebrows on stage. But even then, once I was becoming better, I decided not to focus on that no more. I decided to just let it go. And believe me, it was actually good income. I was actually traveling Europe with it and everything. And then after, even when I became better, I have all these offers. I don't take all of them. And sometimes you just have to let go. That said, you will still find my website, mcpauld.com. You will still find Two Real Productions out there. And,
cool.
But I had to let them go. Just like my other business, in construction, refurbishing and recruiting people. I used to make a lot of money from that. I don't do it anymore. I get emails, I either send them to someone else, or I don't do it because I just don't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
So now you're taking a more serious focus, and you have plans that are, so you're not gonna, you've let go of some of the things now, and you have a new focus, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Now
I do.
I'm curious to know, how does the concept, I mean, you've already talked about several examples of free content that you're giving away. So what's your attitude about that? And I ask this because I've, in my own creative work, always done these, pretty advanced tutorial things, saying that someday I'm going to do more of the beginner intermediate content as well, but I want to save that for a course. And I know there's people out there that say, give away everything, because people are learning from you one way or another, and a course is a structured solution, so don't feel that that's a threat to it. And like I think about that, but then in the next breath I say, well, people can find the stuff and do whatever, but I just wonder, like, where do you draw the line between because you're the man of monetize this kind of thing. Can you share a perspective on that?
So there's a few schools of thought on this. Yeah, you can give everything away for free, and people will pay for customization. So I can tell you right now, all my sales, science, body language, this, that. Good luck trying to do that for your company. Mm-hmm. Good luck trying to tweak that for your company. A lot of people will take the lessons, and marketing, for example, and they will try and it's fitted everywhere. It doesn't work. It's if you don't know the actual science, where it came from, where it comes out from, you can't tweak it to effectively anyway to different types of companies. The second
Right.
thing is, I'm all for giving away things for free, but you also want to make money.
Yeah.
You can't just not make money. And I know that a lot of people that say they give away for everything for free, but they still sell something. Think about it. Tell me one person that doesn't. They still make money somehow. Otherwise, they'd be starving to death. So you gotta be able to, for example, the course I'm going to give that people are going to pay for. It's not going to be just me. There's a few courses, but one of them is with Ben Gay III, for example.
Right.
Now, this course has me on video marketing, me on sales science, psychology, closes, objection handling. Then it has Ben 2 audio tapes about success mindset and sales that are never given before, or haven't been given since 20 years ago when he was talking to companies on CDs. And believe me, it's golden even today. Rare videos of him on stage teaching large companies.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As a bonus. 11 interviews that Ben is interviewing other people on sales, which have never come out. It's going to be on that course. And things that are, yes, you can find them from my site anywhere. Let's say a lot of the stuff. Good luck trying to find them.
Yeah.
Taught properly. And also, it just puts everything in order as well. So this course is worth it, for example. Then, if you do a course with live questions and you get feedback, or you put out a course and you get feedback on it and you add onto it over time, it's always relevant. Mm-hmm. That's also giving information for people, right?
Yeah. So you mean some of the products can be like living ongoing as they're still in the digital domain, and you keep adding to it and build a membership community
look at this
around it. And
you can go look at, grab 10 books on cold calling. You can go look at all the videos on cold calling on YouTube. 99% of them are dog crap, to say it nicely. Really, mm-hmm. you have no idea, and you're learning wrong. You have to be able to learn correctly. Okay, they're either outdated, they're redone, recycled stuff, and they don't even apply to today, most of them, because they're just people. It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. People grow, people change. The principles are there, but you have to change with the time.
Absolutely.
And that's where the courses come in, or the webinars, or whatever.
Okay, so I think as a good idea for something to close with is for you to give us like 3 strategies for success on YouTube, but to be able to monetize and be successful on YouTube. So some success strategies for successful monetization that you may think, well, some may be obvious, but like, what are people not doing in your estimation or fall short on?
Okay.
Yeah.
Find something that you love, that you're passionate about. Start learning about it. As you're learning about it, put it on YouTube. Start using YouTube to start getting traction and learning it. In the beginning, you might be really bad on YouTube. It doesn't matter, because you're becoming an expert in your field. As you are growing and you're growing your YouTube channel, you're also learning what you want to learn, what you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. As you're doing that, in a year or 2, grab it and make it into an ebook or a book. Okay?
So there's a big message in there that we don't have to be the perfect expert and finish the whole thing before we start to publish on YouTube and build our connection with people, right?
Well, a lot of people see things and they think they have to do it in a week. Guys, it put a 2-3 year process. A lot of people think they have to be successful now. It takes a few years to become successful. I know all these gurus make it they make it sound so simple. Like, think about it and it will happen. You can think about it
that's
all
just too.
Not taking action, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, if you're thinking about it, you're subliminally, you might see people and notice things. And yes, I do believe that you attract things and so forth, but you have to take action. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you do the YouTube videos, you learn your product, you get the ebook, you start a course, people will grab you and ask you to speak somewhere. Get all this out there, start collaborating, and it will happen. But start and put years ahead.
Yeah.
This is why you should not go for subscribers or views. In
Yeah.
5 years, I'll have 10,000 subscribers, whatever, on Social Blade.
Right.
That's nothing to be excited about. You go, who cares? It's crap. I'm not going
Yeah.
to waste 3 to 5 years for 10,000 subscribers. That's stupid.
And how about the ups and downs of the flow of the growth? It's
Yeah.
nothing we can control.
Your goals have to be huge. They have to be so big that your problems will be nothing compared to them. And they have to be so big that you're going to be excited about them. No one's going to be excited about $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Try 10, 20,000. It's a lot more exciting. You can do a lot more with that.
Mm-hmm.
So your goals have to be huge. And you just have to do them. Make a plan. Write it down. There's a certain magic about writing something down.
Yes.
Write down what you're going to do and do it. That's what I would do on YouTube for anyone.
Okay. And there was one more, a third big one, even though you've probably compiled about a half a dozen in there. I'm pushing you for one more because I love those. So yeah, can you think of what I'd like to? You mentioned about collaborating, so that was something that I think is so important. Just like I'm doing here, live interviews, because I love interviewing to help share the knowledge of other people with the kind of people that are attracted to my channel and the content I deliver, because I want to help people develop the skills to succeed in using video to help grow their business. So I believe wholeheartedly in it, but doing these interviews is not going to be the content that's going to get me views and subs. I'm just going to follow your lead and the message that you're saying there, right? So yes, some could argue that this is kind of for me, but I also feel that it's also useful content for the people. And if the only measurement is views and subs and watch time, watch time obviously will be an indicator of that. But you said passion, so the passion's got to be a big part in this play to keep going, and that's why I'm looking at doing these interviews more, possibly going into doing podcast form to bring them out and let them get a wider audience exposure. And the funny thing is, I never thought I'd be doing this 6 months ago. I started with an interview with Nick Nimmin, and it got very well received, and then gradually I'm getting to do more of these and have the privilege of having a chat with you today, Paul. So,
I'm honored, man. Hey, real quick on that subject, aim high even on that. Look, whether I'll say this, whether you're trying to make €1,000 a month or 10,000, it takes the same amount of energy. And whether you're trying to do an interview with, I don't know, a YouTuber with 500 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers, it takes the same amount of energy. Maybe you get less of them, but it's worth more. So as Gord is interviewing all these big YouTubers, as I am interviewing all these big entrepreneurs, I did a collab video with Nick when I had 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was up there. And that was because I was aiming high, and everyone should aim high. It takes the same amount of energy, really. The only thing that changes is what you think to make it. So if I'm thinking about how to make €1,000 a month, I will find solutions, but I will also find the solutions with the same amount of energy for 10,000. It's just a mindset thing.
Yeah, and I think that's very powerful. And to think that way involves more than just the focus on the creating, obviously, and setting those goals and getting clarity on them in order to then create with a purpose that will help you scale in your monetization. So that's great advice, Paul. And thank you so much for coming here today to be with everyone. And I really enjoyed it. And what's the most immediate thing? Like you mentioned a whole bunch of things. So I've seen you started to do a lot more interviews lately. So can you tell us what's happening with your channel, and what are we going to see coming out in the next quarter or so to the end of the year and beyond?
You're gonna see sales videos, and you're gonna see a lot of interviews. The thing is, they're not so consistent because I'm doing other things right now. I'm focusing on the books and the courses and advising companies. I'm actually advising a blockchain company in Bulgaria. I'm going back and forth. It's called Evido, Evido.io or Evido.co, sorry,
Hmm.
and that's taking a lot out of me. I'm advising Clady, the singer, which is an
Hmm.
international award-winning singer. I'm going to start doing videos with him on his channel, by the way.
Oh, cool.
We're doing stuff like that, and it's just a lot of stuff. But
That's
my
great.
channel will have sales videos and success videos on there. I do urge you, if you are interested, and only if you're interested in success and sales training videos, sometimes some investing videos too, then go ahead and subscribe. I would love to see you on my channel. And I will try, and I will be consistent as time goes by. I will be more and more consistent. I'll do more live videos, but shorter, like they're, just so I don't have to do the editing and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
Um,
told you, Paul, you can hire me anytime to do your editing.
this is something we need to talk about, Gord. You
Yeah. Get busy. You could just like, toss the files on Google Drive or Dropbox and I'll find them.
So let me tell everyone about Gord real quick. Gord is amazing. Gord is one of the most helpful people out there. Has a good heart. He's extremely smart. Is so willing to help. Every time I had a problem interviewing somebody, Gord would save the day. I'm not even joking. Like, he introduced me to Zoom, and I'm using Zoom for my interviews now, and I have much better quality. He helped me with the color in the back because I couldn't decide what color to go with. He helped me with that. That plant, that's Gord. That plant was not there. don't think, hey, it's a big deal.
Yep.
That plant gives a lot of color. If you look at the other videos I had and the videos with this plant, see, Gord knows how to make those precise touches. He's the man that solves the problems, and I love him, man. And you guys should really follow his videos. He's an amazing guy.
Well, thanks, Paul. I hope to graduate to doing some editing soon. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna
thank
get
you.
the Logitech Brio that you mentioned the other day.
Oh, yeah,
So
that'll be fun to see. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well, thanks again, Paul, and thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in another interview soon. And take care, and thanks everybody for watching.
bye guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Keep succeeding.
Okay. Cheers.